Well, looks like we finally got it. YouTube wasn't cooperating. I don't know how many guys will pop in and out after that, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, after chasing around my sandpaper, I finally got the sandpaper in, and I'm going to show you what I use. This is a year's worth. This will last 1 year. And this is that roll of 3M sticky back paper that I get. This is not a paid promotion or anything. I don't get paid from Amazon or 3M or anything. But I use 3M sandpaper part number 01682. And it says 3M Stick It attachment. And it's rolled adhesive paper. Good stuff. You can get it in 180, 320. I buy 80 grit and buy the roll as well. But this will last me a year. You get, I think it's 75 yards. What the heck did I just do with that? Let's see how much we get here. You get, shoot, it doesn't say. I do think it's I don't know. It's enough to last a year. I can't tell you how much, how long it is. Anyway, let's get on to the pilot. I showed my pilot painting in the video the other night, and I told you that I was going to, you know, finish him up. And I put a headset on him. And the wire here is just some copper wire wrapped around a pin and then painted black. This is a T-pin for the microphone cut off, and then the end of it's dipped in epoxy and painted black. And the earphones or the headset is a piece of 64th plywood cut 1/8 inch wide, painted gray or silver, and then I ground his ears off. I took the Dremel tool and I ground his ears off and cut 2 3/8 3/16 pieces with a sky pipe, and then flattened them on the end and rounded them over and painted them black. He's pretty respectable. I mean, it's not bad. I might dust him with some black from an airbrush before I glue him in, but that's where we're at with that. And the reason I showed the sandpaper is I've been sanding on this now for, this is going on my 2nd week. And we got sandpaper, and I'm going to sand it again. The whole thing. One more sanding. And you say, well, you're going to sand all the paint off. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And this thing should be as smooth as a baby behind when I get that last coat on. Because like I said, I do want this as nice as my Thunderbolt. RSM distribution or distributing or whatever he calls it there has a link on Stunt Hangar now. Top. Mike, he's a nice guy. Let's see what he. Let's see, get a little more light in here. Trying to get some light on the object. I guess I'm going to have to bring my lights from home. What I'm going to have to do is clean this place up this weekend. This place is terrible. Anyway, if you have any questions, this is just a short video. I'm not going to be on doing much tonight. I just wanted to give you an update on the pilot, what I did on him to make him look good or better. And I mean, how many boring sanding videos can you sit through? I know, guys say, well, we like to watch you sand. If it was just me sanding, it'd be one thing, but for me to sit down and talk for an hour is another thing. But as stated, it'll get another sand out. The whole thing. I'll go over it with this and then go over it with 600 again. Do a lot of feeling with your hands. And this is what made the Monado finish so nice, is all this sanding. It's one thing to have a nice finish, it's another thing to have a nice light finish. I was talking to somebody this weekend, they said 6-ounce finish from here. No, it's 6-ounce finish from bare wood. Oh, it was Charles, that's who I was talking to. And the only way you can get that is with all this sanding. It's ridiculous. You know, gotta love sanding. So, if you're looking for something exciting, this is not the video for you. But we're not going to stay on long. We'll do about 15 minutes of sanding, and I'll continue on sanding off camera. Because that's all this is going to be, is sanding. One thing I do is I take a piece of sandpaper in my hand like this, and I cup my fingers and make a small indent like that, and I go around the edges of the tips. And you don't want to sand any flats in it, so you just do some, let's see, let me see if you can catch the drift of what I'm doing here. It's kind of a rolling motion around the tips. We're not sanding straight, it's a rolling motion. And I'll have to take all these off and go over all these too. For you guys that are members of Stunt Hangar forum, Charles does his videos, or his video chats on Monday and Friday. We're always looking for, if you're one of my subscribers and a member of Stunt Hangar, and you're out of the country, let's say you're in Spain or whatever, speak a different language, no problem. If you would like to host your own video chat on this channel, get a hold of me and we'll do some different time zones, different languages. because we all speak the same language, model airplanes. And even if I can't understand you, I'll get the translator going. Figure something out. I don't know if you guys follow Hobby Show TV, but I do, because I like Carolina Flaristi or whatever her name is. She's cute. But they don't speak any English. And I don't speak Portuguese. Or whatever it is they're speaking. But I understand the airplanes. They do a kind of a mix. Well, Danny, I also glue sandpaper to my fingertips. See, it sticks. You just use it in two fingers and roll it back and forth. Let's say I have to sand something inside. I'll glue a small piece of sandpaper with CA to my fingertip and get down there and sand it out. You know what? I think I'm going to have to fix that. Because old Jim Lynch will go, "Hey man, what's that all about?" I'll have to say, well, I guess I didn't see it, but I'm seeing it now. So, what are you going to do about that? Nothing. We'll get it fixed before we, Danny Hatch, are you Jim? I think you are. Yeah. Anyway, this is like the 5th or 6th sand out of this airplane, and we'll keep sanding until I rub it raw, I guess. Sticky back paper is great though. You just put it on your hand. And I think that roll of paper is about $27. And like I say, that'll last me a year. Boy. Just Danny, okay. I know that Jim sneaks in here and watches me from time to time using somebody else's name. Jim's a good guy, super good builder. And if you ever saw him finish, he's the guy that's got me on the kick of finishing the bottom as good as the top. Because in all actuality, the rule book says these are supposed to be judged from 10 foot away, not holding them, inspecting them with a microscope. This transition right here is this style airplane where the rudder comes all the way back in the headrest to behind the pilot is so cool. I mean, it looks so good if done right. but it has to be flawless. You can't have this piece and then a rudder scabbed on. It has to look like it's all one piece in order for it to really look trick. Anyway, we got 15 minutes in. Is there any questions you guys got for me before I cut out? Or would you like me to explain something? You know, a little feedback would help. Because, you know, there's a lot of things that I can explain or do or whatever, but I kind of gotta know what you guys need to know. Just know this: it's going to take a ton of sanding if you're going to build front row airplanes. I'm going to try to get this one on the front row this year. I need to call my dad. He often wonders if I'm still building, you know, am I still building? He's 96 and he, you know, he's always encouraged me to build model airplanes. He did it in the 40s, and he used to say, if you're going to do it, it's got to be perfect. He was a speed flyer, and he always talked about hand-rubbed lacquer speed planes. And if you knew my dad, you can best bet it was perfect when it was done. In 2007, I think, I flew my Continental that I sold to, oh crap, now I can't remember. One of the guys that's on the forum here, he bought several airplanes. But he saw me fly that. I was 21st that year, right behind Phil Granderson. Phil Granderson edged me by 1/3 of a point out of top 20. Anyway. My dad really loved that airplane, so I was kind of proud of that. Anyway, I'm gonna take, I bet I could sand on this another 2 weeks. Every time I go over it, I find a spot that it's not perfect. Like this is, you can't see this because it's in the notch, but we'll see if the camera shows up. If you look right there, there's a stick that's glued in. Well, that's where the pivot point is for the hinge. Well, that's up against the trailing edge, and you can't see it. But you know what? I know it's there, so I'm going to take some green putty and putty those in until they look perfect. And this particular airplane, I took bearings because there's no fillets on this thing. I took bearings, and of course I could put those little things on there and hide those. I don't know. But I'm going to go over this thing, get every spot. there won't be one spot left unturned before I start, when I paint it up. Anyway, any questions? I'll get off of here and you guys can go play and do whatever. Tomorrow night I'll probably have a building video. We'll get back on that other airplane, the one that's under the bench here. This airplane here will be a Continental XL. So I'll have 3 airplanes that are the same airplane, only they look different. So one look like a Continental, one look like a Tucker, and one look like a Junar, but they're all the same airplane. And when I say it looks like a Junar, that's exactly correct, because it's not a Junar. But they're all the same airplane with all the same numbers, just a different dress. So we'll have 3 for next year that are all the same. You know, I have this other airplane up here, the high roller. That's the same thing. That's the same wing as this. But the difference between this airplane and that airplane is that airplane has an 18-inch tail moment and an engine that weighs an ounce more than. So the airplane acts strange. So that's why I went back to my roots with the Super Tigers, to kind of knock down some of that weight out there in the nose. And a lot of people say, well, it don't matter. Yes, it does. When you give it up, it's got to go like that. It can't go, at least for me anyway. Make sure to like, subscribe, share the videos. I appreciate you watching. Matter of fact, I'll do 8 minutes more. We'll do just a short half-an-hour one tonight. And when I set the little Tucker down to this airplane, you'll go, well, how did I get it to look exactly the same as the little Tucker? Because it looks exactly the same. The only thing it's added is this hood scoop. On the little Tucker, it's just painted on, but on this one, I knew that it would need to have this transition into this windscreen. I knew it would need something in front, or else it would look funny, like the little one does, because I used the back half of a canopy, or I can't remember what I used for the windscreen on that, but we manufactured this one. So, but I knew it would look funny without having a hood scoop on it. So what do you think of that pilot? Did it turn out okay? I like him. I wish he wasn't sitting on this box, but there's not much I can do. I mean, you kind of got to do what you got to do. I could have moved the cockpit back and had the horn at the dash, the instrument panel, but then it wouldn't look like a Tucker. So it had to be right where it's at. So I guess I could have run the horn on the bottom side, run the push rod out the bottom, but then again, this might get an operation. You never know. So you kind of got to do what you got to do. Average watch time, 7 minutes. So I've babbled on long enough with no feedback. I guess I'll see you tomorrow night. We'll do something on that other airplane instead of these boring sanding videos. But for tonight, I'm just going to keep sanding. So till I see you tomorrow night, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.